Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Billy Gators, and today we're going to be continuing my Not a Good Person series. So we picked on Historia, Annie, and Misa. Today we're going to be picking on Armin. So there seems to be a lot of misconceptions about the character of Armin. And one thing that I will say, and one of the reasons why I made the series, and I really like about AOT is so deeply anti-war that even the people on the right side, the victors, are portrayed as depraved monsters, which is what they are. That's how anti-war AOT is. And it's shown very clearly, even in the very first time they stop the rumbling, they don't pat themselves in the back. They don't say we're heroes, we're amazing people. They say, it's not like we don't have regrets, but did we do the right thing at least this time? I'm paraphrasing, that's essentially what happened. Now, in regards to Armin, there seems to be a lot of misconceptions. And I remember there was this meme going around, and I'll put the meme here. And they said, one of the mods at AOR, Manger Tugra, said that Armin was a good person. And a lot of people agree with him, and a lot of people tend to watch the show and agree he's a good person, even though he said himself he wasn't. Like Mika said herself she wasn't, people still like to say they are good people. So I'm going to explain to you exactly how depraved Armin is. Now, Armin may appear to be soft and weak, but Armin's actually kind of a gangster. He has absolutely no problem with killing people to obtain his goals. We see this mindset earlier on in Season 1, where Armin talks about how you have to abandon your humanity in order to achieve stuff. And we see him talking about Erwin, how Erwin is effective because he is a ruthless evil man, he said in Season 1, because he's willing to lay down his life in pursuit of his goals. Now we see Armin become more prone to violence, or more accepting of violence as the series goes on. When he kills someone in self-defense in Season 3, the Uprising arc, when John, he killed that girl to save John. He was upset by it. He was rattled by it. He was thrown out, which is an appropriate reaction to taking human life. It's self-defense otherwise. He still took another individual's life. And so he had more of an appropriate reaction, even though it was self-defense. Later on, this Armin that we see actually starts to go away. And I think the death of this actually kind of sad enough was when he obtained the Clawsight. We see the Clawsight crying. Now, of course, there's lots of wiggle room here, so it's just symbolism, but my interpretation that seemed to be that is the time where Armin really crossed from that sort of innocent sort of area, follow me here, to the full-on cold-blooded killer that he is in Season 4. Like Clawsight has appeared. He's mourning that transition. Now noted, Armin did say back in Season 3, we are no longer the good guys, because they are now torturing people, they're killing people, they're no longer going after Titans. So a clear delineation, a clear moral line has been drawn in the sand, Isayama, that once you cross the line, you are not a good person anymore. And so, after inheriting this Clawsight, Armin went from a guy who had no problem, who had a big problem killing one person self-defense, to blowing up an entire port without any hesitation whatsoever, knowing full well that there was a civilian population there. He knew full well, and he killed them anyway. He knew there was children there, and he killed them anyway, in horrific ways, might I add. Notice, when he killed the lady in Season 3, I believe he shot her in the head, or he shot her in the torso, or whatever. Very quick death. The Colossal Titan actually sets people ablaze because of the heat. And what's especially twisted and cruel about this is that Armin knows what it's like to be set alight, because that's how he obtained the claws in the first place. He was set alight. And so he willingly, and without any hesitation, inflicted this upon other individuals, including children, which is very sad. Now, this is something I also like to point out all the time. How do the characters react to their deaths? And I know I'm bringing this up again because I'm saying this is purposeful. It's purposeful when it comes to Mikasa, when it comes to Levi or Aaron or Zeke especially. And then with Armin, the lack of remorse or empathy is extremely important because, again, I showed you, we saw an appropriate reaction. So Isayama gives a framing for reaction back in Season 3. He framed it. This is what you're supposed to have a reaction for. So he knows the reaction's there. Isayama's not just skipping the reaction because the plot is moving forward. He knows what the reaction should be. Armin has absolutely no reaction to this whatsoever. He has more of a reaction to Sasha dying than what he just did down there. And that is purposeful. It's purposely showing how Armin is digging into this deeper, more depraved nature in order to move forward in the goals. The next thing I have to bring up is, of course, the port battle. Now again, Armin didn't do much here. Because he was shot. But the participation, and again, the lack of remorse that happened within this whole scenario, or lack of any, sort of feelings. He only shows feelings when his Kanji gets killed. That's an appropriate reaction, right? It happens when he is participating in killing his former comrades. I mean, these are people who he fought with and trained with beforehand. For those of you who are enlisted, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys are, imagine turning on the squad or the battalion. I don't know how the structure is, but when you're in those groups, you grow a close bond. I know because I have military members in my family. So you grow those close bonds. To then turn on them and to kill them in this way, that Armin and Kong and all these others did, it shows you have to reach into an inhumane part of yourself. And again, we have Connie's reaction to this, which is framed as an appropriate reaction. The reaction that Connie has is not framed as, oh, he's soft, he's naive. No. And no one thinks that. The reaction is framed as appropriate and sad and depressing. Because he had to kill his friends. But notice what comes to Armin's head. Armin's thinking about Berthold's lines, who we thought was a monster, who we thought was evil, or is evil. His lines, when he's going to do it, I'm quoting the dub, sorry, when he's going to do it, when he's going to stain your hands with my blood. He invokes that line, a line where we all felt angry, we all felt like we wanted to kill Berthold, we all felt like Berthold was a bad guy, we thought Berthold was the epitome of evil. Armin brings that to mind, and Armin accepts that mindset in himself and has absolutely no problem with what's going on. Meanwhile, same with Mikasa, by the way. Meanwhile, Connie has the reaction that a person with humanity has. Connie still lacks humanity, of course. That's how he came out alive. And I'm taking this as a direct quote, but as a quote from Uprising. That was the whole thing. You had less humanity, therefore you survived. That's how that works. And so this is something that Isayama is trying to intertwine into the narrative. And he's making this narrative, again, as he says in every video, he's making the narrative like this. He's portraying these characters like this to show you war is a bad thing. It's an evil thing. And even the people who are the good guys, the people who are on the right, those people are evil as well. So the solution isn't to win the war, committing many sins along the way. The solution is to avoid war and get children out of the forest by burning the sins of the past. And I hope, it's kind of a short video, but I hope this makes you understand more why exactly Armin's not a good person. And again, he said it himself at 131. So if you want to argue with me, you're going to have to argue with Armin himself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.